We're recording.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to our Tuesday night all Heat team call. My name is Lisa Blaisdell. I'm a national marketing director on the Heat team. I live in Southern California, and it is such a joy and a treat and an honor to be introducing to you someone that I really consider a dear friend in this business and in life. This is an amazing woman who I look up to a lot. She is a mentor and really an incredible leader with our company. And I'm so excited to share her wisdom with all of you guys tonight because I have truly learned so much from Jaymie over the years. So Jaymie Westerfield is a brand new 100 Club member with the Duke Plus Company. Woo! And she was awarded, rightfully so, with a $10,000 bonus in our national marketing director meeting as a result of the new bonus plan that I know you guys are all taking advantage of. So huge congratulations to Jaymie. And in addition to being a rock star NMD, she is a wife of 30 years. I'm fast forwarding your bio, Jaymie, that still says 28. She has 2 grown sons, and she is a very proud grandma of a beautiful little girl who's growing up so fast. I'm so glad I get to see her on Facebook. And Jaymie is an incredible wife and mom and has always put her family first. And that is why, and you're going to hear her story, this business is so important to her. She has been nominated for multiple Eltons. She has a background in corporate America. You're going to hear that part of her story too. And Jaymie is a nearly 20-year cancer survivor and warrior. And she pours her heart and soul into helping survivors and people walking through the journey of cancer every single day. And so it is really a joy. She is going to talk about her story, and she's going to talk about keys and tools to success, including duplication. So with that, my dear friend, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. I am so honored to be here with all of you guys. I just love Zoom. I love this technology. And Lisa is one of my most favorite people in the world. I'm so glad that we're sisters in this business and we get to see each other all the time. So it's really cool. Chris and Nikki have been with me in this business. I mean, I think they even started before me, and being with them, they have taught me so much through the years. So I'm very honored to be able to talk to this amazing team. So thank you so much for inviting me. As Lisa said, I think it's important to kind of know my history so you know what got me to where I am. January this year, I celebrated my 20th year of being cancer-free. I, 20 years ago, was actually diagnosed with colon cancer. My kids were 6 and 9 at the time. I had just turned 40, so now you know I'm 60. And I went to the doctor just for a simple test. My husband had had a colonoscopy, and I thought, oh my gosh, that sounds like something really fun. I should try it. Yeah. So if you ever need any help or guidance on that, I can tell you I've had 10. So I'm really good at them now. Anyway, when I woke up, they kind of put you out. When I woke up, I remember just looking over at this doctor's face, and he had the most grim look on his face. And I'm like, all I'm thinking about is eating food, right? My husband's like kind of propped up against the bed like this. And I said, is there something wrong? And he goes, yeah, Jaymie, there is. I go, I'm joking. I kind of, what, I have a tumor or something? And he goes, you do. And I said, is it cancer? And he says, it is. And I said, am I going to die? And he goes, I don't know. And my husband, love him to pieces, 6'3" of him, 230 pounds, went literally crashing onto the floor. And he actually bounced. Now, women, you can appreciate this part of the story because I know there's men on here too, but all of the nurses and the doctors in the room went swarming to my husband. And all I'm thinking about, are you serious right now? This is not going to be about you, dude. This is going to be about me right now. So we laugh about it, and he gets so mad when I tell the story, but you know, it is true. So they had smelling salts and all that kind of stuff, and I finally woke him up. And they said, Jaymie, you're going to have surgery right away, and we don't know how far it's spread. So they put me in for emergency surgery. They took out a foot of my colon. They were able to resect it, but they told me that the tumor was the size of a lemon when they found it. It had already gone into all the surrounding tissue. So they told me I had to have chemo every single week for 6 months. that was such a daunting thought. All I'm thinking about is my 2 little boys, you know. And so while I was healing from the surgery before I started chemo, I started doing all this investigating, like how to eat better. I already thought I ate well, but you know, nobody can eat enough. And so I was so fortunate, a doctor that had done his own research because he'd had a massive heart attack and almost died, started looking into the same thing. And he was treating my husband for an autoimmune disorder. And he said, you know, I found out that fruits and vegetables play such a huge role in not only preventing disease, but in helping your body heal. And he goes, my problem is I can't get any of my patients to comply. They know they're supposed to do it, but they just don't do it for whatever reason. So he found out about Juice Plus, and he looked at all the initial research and science, which I believe back then there was only 13 studies. And he said, this is my solution. This is a way to get fruits and vegetables in people's bodies. So he told me about it. He goes, Jaymie, this can only help you from a nutritional standpoint when you're going to go through all that bad stuff. And I'm thinking, that makes so much sense. So, you know, I looked at all the research, it didn't make any sense to me, but it just made sense that this is food. This is good, whole-based food. So I took it to my chemo doctor the day I started treatment. And without even looking at it, he said, that is really just, all that stuff is stupid and just don't do it. And I'm thinking to myself, and I actually have the blessing today to counsel a lot of cancer patients. And I say, you know, you feel so helpless when you get this diagnosis and you need to be a part of the process and you need to ask questions. And so I had done my due diligence. He didn't even know what he was basing that on. So I decided to take it anyway. Well, they monitor your blood levels from day one. I was so anemic from the cancer and my hemoglobin was down to 7 points. He goes, oh, that's really bad. It's going to take at least a year to come back into healthy ranges, and healthy ranges are 11 to 15. And he said the chemo is going to make it much worse. Well, I started doing my Juice Plus. I had to work. By the way, I had chemo every Monday, and I went back to work on Tuesday. That was the way it was. I had to work full time. There was nothing I could do about it. So 2 months into the process, he calls me and he goes, I need to know what you're doing. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, Jaymie, I've never seen this in the whole history of my practice. He goes, your hemoglobin went from 7 to 14.6. And I said, well, I'm taking Juice Plus. And he said, what is that? I go, the stuff you told me on day one was stupid and not to do. And he goes, he just started looking at me. He goes, I'm so sorry. I'm just used to people bringing me all their miracle pills. That's why I tell everybody, be a part of the process, ask questions, make sure they do their research. Needless to say, he got on Juice Plus right away and started telling other people about it. So that was 10 colonoscopies ago and 20 years ago. And I know that Juice Plus has played a huge part in my recovery. I'm not saying Juice Plus cures any disease. I'm just saying that obviously it helped me. And as unbelievable as that was, there was something, well, I mean, I wouldn't be here without my health, but something else huge came out of that. I had always dreamed of being a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be with my children, but it was never possible, ever. We were a 2-income family. I made a great income, so that wasn't possible. Well, one day the doctor that had signed me up for Juice Plus called me up and he goes, Jaymie, you ought to think about becoming a rep. I started laughing. I go, I don't have time for that. I have 2 children. I have a full-time job. I'm going through chemo. Are you out of your mind? And he goes, well, not really. He goes, I think you're thinking about the wrong way. And I go, what do you mean? He said, you've already referred 20 people to me. He goes, you're doing this while you live life. Stop trying to make it another job. And I started thinking about that, and that little what if thing in my brain went off like, what if I could actually do something that would give me freedom financially and time-wise to be with my family? So I decided to go for it, but I had to work. I worked the whole time, full time. So this is a part-time job, obviously. It took me a year to be able to leave the corporate job. I did not replace my income at that point, but a year later, I became a national marketing director. And then I left all of that behind, and I never missed one day of my kids growing up, all that special stuff that you get. We went on family vacations, things that I would never have been able to do. And today I would still have that job because I would still be working for a paycheck, and I'm not. So I'm so grateful to this company and this product for giving me something not only that I could be passionate about, but that could give me a lifestyle that was better than the one I had before. I remember the first day I dropped my kids off at school when I stayed home. Lisa knows this story well. I'm like, I drop them off, I come back, I pour myself a cup of coffee, and I look down and I'm like, I'm in my sweats. Because I had to wear a suit every day to work, I'm like, yes. I tell everybody I traded my Nordstrom suits for my Victoria's Secret sweats, not jammies, sweats. Yeah, I'm too old to wear the jammy stuff, but anyway. Okay, so what have I learned over time, and what has this business done for me? And I will tell you guys, this company now, especially now, gives you so many unbelievable tools to work with. And if you follow that and use that system, my team dedicated themselves last October to making us a 100 club in April. And we went from 75 to 102, which I was really happy we went to 102, in conference. And I'm one of those ones, I'm not going to get there any other way but the real way. I want us to grow, because if they grow exponentially, you grow, right? And also, in the last 3 months, I've had my biggest paycheck I've ever had, and I didn't think it could get any better. But it's because my team is nailing down and working the system. And the system is, and if you follow this, you will be successful. Our job is to get people taking Juice Plus, right? It is our job to get people taking the product. And if we're smart and we build a qualifying customer base, which is about 25 trio orders, and we teach others to do exactly the same thing, you will be a national marketing director. You will be making the top of the income that you could possibly be earning, and you're going to be teaching your team to do the same thing. The bonus plan is giving you now the tool. The amazing amount of income that you could make along the way. All the rest of us, Nikki, Lisa, me, none of us ever got any of those bonuses. I was so excited when they handed me that $10,000 check, because it's the first bonus I've ever gotten. That was from the company. Well, no, I got the fast track bonuses, but it was like the most thrilling experience. So here's what I want to talk to you about is the sequence of events. Okay, I'm going to share a screen with you. Can I do that here? Yeah. And I'm going to breeze through a lot of it because I want to show you something really important. I don't know how many of you are VFs and how many of you are working towards sales coordinator. For me, that's one of the toughest moves that you have to be able to do. This was a presentation I did a while back. I'm not going to go through all this because it doesn't pertain. Oh, we don't want to see that. I'm going to actually skip. Okay, there's my family, though. You can see them. So I would have missed all of this great stuff if I hadn't, been able to get the body healed. Anyway, so key performance indicators. You guys need to worry about qualifying your business. If you don't have a qualified business, you will not maximize your income. This right here tells you if you are having a customer qualified business or not. Your PVC right here, that tells me that this person had 755 points. But their total PB qualification was 1,151, which does qualify them, right, for the 5%. But they are not customer qualified. So I taught my team, how do you find out if you're customer qualified? If you go to line item number 4 on your PVC report, you see here where it says 1151, down here is the number that tells you if you are customer qualified or not. And the same thing when you go to the far right, I'm sorry I don't have it on here, but every one of your reps, if you go down the line, it will tell you if they're customer qualified or not by that number being over 1,000. So you want to have that. Why? That's how you make the most money. Why? If you're going to do it right. And you guess what? We all are who we learn from. We copy our teachers. So if we learn to do it right from the beginning, we're going to do it right from the beginning. We had a gal that signed up in December. She became a sales coordinator in February. In 2 months, she came to conference with 6 qualifiers on her team. She taught everybody to go out and build a qualified business. She's making a lot more money now, obviously. Okay, so I just thought this was a cool slide, because if you're going to bother getting a customer, why just get, and now it's going to be fruit and vegetable customer. We don't even talk about it anymore. We only do the trio or the core 4. This is the income that you will earn by getting 5 new tri-blend or trio customers every month. You tell me somebody who would not want to add $241 to their income every single month in the beginning. As we all know, we all get paid when you're new, you're only getting retail sales profit and commission until you're qualified to get the 5%. The 5% will become the largest portion of your income. So set yourself up for success from day one. I'm going to skip down here because this is stuff you guys all know about. Okay, but what I wanted to show you is something extremely interesting. I took 3 sales coordinators and I decided to look at them 1 year apart. I mean, not 1 year apart, 1 year, each one of them, and the growth or the decline of their business. So that means they are in the same position. It goes to show you, if you are building reps and customers and teaching them to do the same thing, you will be earning the most money. So here's number 1. You'll see where it says that they went down approximately 2% in this year. So this was October of 2015. No, this was a while back. Their paycheck, their PVC was $1,591. Their check amount was $482.57. Look at this. They personally added 18 customers. Their team only added 20. So 18 out of the 20 was the one person and no reps. That is a stale business. Look over here. So a year later, PVC went down, their check went down as well. Nothing changed in this year. So when they ask me what happened, I go back and show them these numbers. I think it's important. Where is it coming from? Okay, now look at number 2. Their PVC in October of this year was 215, 4,608. Their check was 773. They personally only added 5 customers in a 12-month period. Their team, however, added 76 customers, which of course helped, but no new reps. So their PVC went up a little bit. Their check went up a little bit, but they only got paid retail sales profit and commission because they didn't get 5% off of anything. There's no new reps. There's nothing there to get that money on. Now look at number 3. And I will tell you that this individual back then was a sales coordinator. This individual now is a national marketing director, 24 Club, doing very well. This was her first, she made it in 2 months. So her PVC was 1,037, her paycheck was 253. Look at a year later. Her PVC 5507, her check went from 253 to almost $1,200. She added 37 new customers. Her team added 180, and they added 5 new reps, which, by the way, in a 12-month period is not that much. But look, she had an 80% increase in her check. That's pretty good. But do you see the difference on how you can earn your money by what you teach? So this just shows you exponentially what can happen. So that example I gave you, if that 55507, so if I personally sponsored 5 people that each just did that, okay, look what I'm earning. That's my PVC. I'm getting 9% off my frontline sales coordinators, which is right here, earning me almost $2,500, 5% off of all the generations I get paid down below, another almost $7,000, $93.62 a month. Not bad, right? By teaching 5 people to do what they should be doing. Don't go after people that don't want to take this seriously. You need to interview them and ask them those clarifying questions about what's important. Okay, now we just, as you know, you're taught by Bob Burdick all the time, and Nikki and Chris, I'm sure, do the same thing, so does Lisa. You duplicate yourself. We are a product of duplication, right? Oh, that didn't go right, sorry. That wasn't the one I wanted to show you. Oops, never mind. Okay. This is the one. Okay, so they duplicate each single leg, okay? This is what you want to concentrate on. This is what's going to get you to NMD. This is what's going to earn you. And I don't know about you guys, but $10,000 a month I think is quite conservative from a national marketing director standpoint. Once you've grown a little bit, it just keeps really duplicating from there. I have an exercise for you guys that I want you to think about, because this is what I did, and this is how my team grew really fast in this last, and I'm going to go through this really fast because I don't want to keep you guys. I'm a numbers person, and I believe that a visual is really important. But I'm going to actually visually do this, but it's hard to do because I take examples every single day. What I started doing is I had every single one of my team leaders contact me. Now, I could have a new VF, so it could be a VF, it could be an SC, it could be a Q, whatever. What I did was, and I'm going to use a sales coordinator to senior as an example right now. So if a sales coordinator wants to get to senior, we know the structure. You already know the structure requirements, SC, 2BFs, DD, requalifiers. You need to have 8,000, and you need to now do it for 2 months in a row, which is great. How do we get there? I can't just say, oh, go get more people, go sign up more customers. You need a tangible thing to look at. So what I did was, and I don't have it written down, so I'm sorry, I don't have the visual for you, but let's just say hypothetically that the person has 5,000 current points. Now we know that they're gonna need 8,000 points, right? What's the first question you're gonna say to them? How much time do you want to do this? If somebody tells me I wanna do it in 2 months, I'll say, I'm not gonna set you up for that failure because you're not gonna be able to do it in 2 months. We need to make this realistic. So why don't we start off with 4 months and see how that works? So I know, I take my calculator, I have my TPO CVS calculator that I use, and I use it for everybody. So I take 3,000 and I'll say, okay, you've got 3 players on your team that are gonna contribute to this. 3 players. So if we have 3 months, I said, right? Did I say 4 months? I say 4 months? Nikki, did I say 4 months? Okay. So I'm gonna take 3,000 divided by 4 months is 750 PVC points needed per month for 4 months to get the 3,000 new in volume. Now I'm gonna divide that by the 3 players we have. So I divide that by 3. So each team needs to contribute 250 PVC points a month. That's not one person, that's that team, okay? Now divide that number by 42.3, which is a trio order. That's your PVC, your monthly PVC points. That is, they need to add 6 trio orders per team, per month, for 4 months to reach the $3,000 in volume. Now, if you saw that and I have you write that on a whiteboard, and you have Susie, Tom, and Jenny all listed here. Here's their players and the points that each team needs. Is that not going to make it easier for them to go, oh my gosh, okay, Steve over here got 2 trios. This one got 3. I only need 1 more or 2 more. Then you're going to see visually what you need to do at each step. Now, if it's a VF going to sales coordinator, that's going to be a little bit different because they don't necessarily have the players yet. So we have to identify who the players are going to be and how can I help each one of them fast track, which is going to propel the person to sales coordinator. I do the same formula with SSCs to Q, Qs to NMDs. You could even work the numbers backwards to give them a dollar amount. If somebody says, I want to raise my paycheck by $1,000, you can do that with the same numbers and figure it out a dollar amount. I have a lot of men that go, I don't really care about the position or whatever, just tell me how I'm going to make X amount of money. So you can do that. But if you don't send them out just with oh, go do this and do this and do this, and it's organically going to happen, no. Put this person here, this person here, this person here. Let's set the events, whether it's, and I always find out what is your best form of communication. If they want to do a Facebook, I don't do a lot of live Facebook parties, though those don't seem to work well for me, but I do think they work for the younger group, which is great. Zooms seem to be the most popular right now. The in-home events aren't as good as they used to be. I'm not going to go back. I built my entire business in in-home events. They're not working as much right now, but they still have a place. But I'm going to work what works best for that particular person. So if you go strategize with each one of your leaders, go to Nikki, go to Lisa, go to whoever your sponsor is and say, I want the numbers. And if any of you want help, I can totally help you by looking at one of your reports. You always have to have your PVC report and your 12-month analysis. That's how we're going to help you move forward. And I'll tell you what, when you look at it in 3 months and you see those numbers checked off and you met your goal, you don't even know what that's going to do for you financially. But now you've helped every single one of those people achieve theirs, which of course helped you get yours, right? I can only see a couple of you, so anyway, it's hard to talking to myself, I feel like. But anyway, that's how we did it, and we had 4 new SSCs at the last conference. We're gonna have, and we have 2 Qs coming up in the next couple of months. So I know the system is helping us work, and I use all I use right now for a new person, missiondrivenmodel.info. And I immediately go to the Freedom Revolution for anybody looking at our business, take them to the bottom. I go, what business are you in? Oh, you're an athlete? Look at these guys. Are you a healthcare professional? Are you a stay-at-home mom? I love how they use prime time for us old people, but are you a prime timer? Because here's the videos for you, But it works. So use them. Okay. I got 5 minutes to spare, Elise.
Oh my gosh, Jayme, so good. Well, I just want to add that the numbers, if you're newer and if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what she's talking about. I'm not a numbers person. I've always shied away from the numbers. And I realize as a leader, it's really, really important to get a handle on the numbers because you want to know where you're at. And like Wendy Campbell always says, they lead you to the people. We eventually it turns into how many conversations are we going to have? How many people are we going to help and serve? So Jayme, when you took me through this process that you've been doing earlier this year with your team, it is a game changer because then everyone knows exactly how many orders down to the order that they need, within each team, depending on where they're at. So I just think that this is so easy. And it is definitely something that I've watched your team, Jayme. I've watched like how this process has empowered your team and the results speak for itself. So I love this and I'm a huge fan. And I just think that, everyone can benefit from this kind of coaching and this kind of understanding. So where are we at? Oh, we're almost 6:30. Nikki, do you think that we have time for a question? Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I think we do have time for a question. And my team is going nuts saying, can we have the breakdown? And, the thing is, we are doing that. The people that are saying, can we have the breakdown? I've done it just like you're doing it. The only difference is they're hearing it from you instead of me this time. But we do the same thing. We say, let's take how many points you need. Let's divide it by 43. But the one thing that you did slightly different than I do that I love is I do say who are your players, but that breakdown of the teams really was really great. And then knowing it's so simple to think 6 trios on a team, and if you're doing the shred, it's probably 3 shredders.
Exactly.
And all really focuses on shredding. So guys, all of you that are nervous and about the numbers, don't worry. We can talk about this more on Boxer. We've done it. We've been doing it for a while. And you guys that think you don't know how to do it, you actually do. I'm just letting you know it. And Jayme, I so appreciate, by the way, I know you've told your story from the beginning. I've heard it for 17 years. And every time I hear it, it touches my heart in such a big way of what you went through, but also how you really are there to help those people going through that same thing. So I appreciate you on the call so much.
Well, thank you very much.
I just want to add as we close that, and I wanted to say this at the beginning, Jayme, but the name of your team is Team Perseverance. And, it is so perfect for you because not only have you persevered with your health, but you've persevered with your business. And you haven't been in this business for 5 minutes or 5 years. You've been in here through the long haul, through the ups and downs, through the recession in 2008 that really hit our part of the world hard in South Orange County where real estate is everything. And there was a lot of times that you had a decision to make as a leader and you have skills. You have a lot of skills in the marketplace. And I'm just so, I just love so much that you persevered and you didn't give up and you kept going. And that message is so important in this business because I think sometimes, and I'm guilty of this as well. We think, oh gosh, well, I've been around for a long time. I guess, forget it. I'm not going to go for that. And that's why I'm so elated that, it's your time. So
thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I love that we all get to be this huge family in this company, in this business. I've made my best friends here. So, if I can help anybody out, we are one big team, all of us together. So if I can help you out, let me know. Chris and Nikki, Lisa, you guys are my favorite. So I'll do anything I can.
You guys.
Thanks, Jayme.
Thank you.
And say thank you, Jayme.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Jayme. Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Woo.
Thank you
so much.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.